All righty. So they did a recap of SmackDown right at the top of the program with what's going on with the Bloodline and the Rock and the Cody and the Seth and the blah blah blah. And then Cody comes out and again this crowd, it was like somebody paid them to hey, just jump up and down and cheer some motherfucker. They loved it. They loved Cody. They were insane. Well, you know why? Because son of a plumber from Austin, Texas. He's the grandson of a plumber from Austin, Texas. And the plumbing business is big down in Austin, Texas. So Cody does the promo, and again, I see a slim, well-dressed, articulate Dusty. If I close my eyes, I hear the cadence of things, the way Dusty would say shit, just with bigger words. It's amazing. And
bigger words that at times sound unnaturally stuffed into his phrasing.
But yes, but here's the thing. If you analyzed all of Dusty's promos like that, some of them might be stuffed in there too, but he said them so cool. And
he had a flow. That's right. He had a flow. It sounded natural, even if it was ridiculous.
But he covered The Rock's, Instagram video and 20 minutes on SmackDown and all. They calling the fans meth heads. And you talked about my dog, Rock. Don't ever talk about my dog. And I can sympathize with a statement like that. And basically, Cody said, you didn't accept my one-on-one challenge. You changed it to a tag team match, like, the master politician you are. And finally, this is what I liked about this segment, besides the fact that people were so hot and it moved things along. And I didn't like everything about the segment now. Hold on, we'll get there. But he finally gave the best explanation, and it's because it's simple and it worked, but it covered it. Now, and probably he may have just got the chance to do it, because I can tell he wanted to. The explanation for this fucking switcheroony that we got put on us. He had talked to The Rock trying to get advice. And he didn't say this all outright, but you see where I'm going with it, Brian, because you heard this. He had talked to The Rock to get advice, because why wouldn't you talk to The Rock to get advice about the bloodline, right? And The Rock tells you, people don't want to see you versus Roman. They want to see me versus Roman. That's what be the best for everybody. And Cody kind of sheepishly looking, but not admitting it verbally. So I fell for that. That's the kind of explanation that people could fucking actually believe, right? Or am I reading too much into this?
It was the first explanation that's made any sense that we've been given several weeks after the fact. I don't even know if an explanation was really needed anymore. They kind of just moved past that point.
I still think it was, because it brings it around, and you can point to that from now on. I think Cody getting the opportunity to close up a loophole that may have bothered him. But anyway, that's the thing is, and then you fans, you chanted something else, and they chant, "We want Cody." That was perfect to not only explain it, but get into it. As soon as he says, you folks, you chant, we heard your chants, you wanted something else. And then it's we want Cody. And he's admitted that he got conned a little bit, but he's moved on now. And then he goes, we all heard that. The Rock heard that. That's why he's jealous, right? So now he's come back with this challenge that also involves my good friend, Seth Franklin Rollins. And here comes Seth. And boy, he was boogieing and woogieing, and good Lord. The less that Seth talks sometimes in this, I think the better off he is. Cody makes the pitch to him. You've offered to help before. You've offered to help me, but hey, you got a big thing that going on with Drew. If you want to focus on that, because it's also a big deal that The Rock and Roman are together. If you aren't on board with me, then I understand, right? And Seth again says, well, I said some things are bigger than us, and taking down the bloodline is the biggest thing that we can do. And then, just, God damn it. And maybe because it's cute, and maybe because anything works with The Rock or whatever, and the nickname, okay, but this was silliness where there didn't need to be silliness. He took the top angle, and he was flippant and silly, mocking The Rock and his promos. And I don't think it was getting over with the room. And I don't think it was getting over with the goddamn TV audience.
He did everything that The Rock was doing wrong. He was lame. It was a lame nickname. How anyone thought that nickname would work in the room, there's no way they could have. It was just bad. It was lame. And like you said, it was not what this needed.
Well, and the nickname wasn't even the worst part of it, because the worst part of it was after that he kept going on, and that's when they quieted down, really, because they like chanting diarrhea, because that's what he did, folks. He goes into this spiel where he's over The Rock, and he says, I'm going to come up with a nickname for him. And then he fake thinks for a long time. And how about Diarrhea Dwayne? The thing is, if he'd have just said, I'm going to come up with a nickname for him, what about Diarrhea Dwayne? Well, then if it sucked as bad as that sucks, it wouldn't have sucked as bad, because it looked like he took 30 seconds to think about that. And then it was a letdown. And of course, the people want to chant diarrhea, diarrhea. And that gives him the opportunity to tell Rock that he sounds like wet baby poop. That's a quote, wet baby poop. But then he gets the flippant and the silly, mocking The Rock and the promos, and he just went again down the wrong path. Not only the people weren't interested, but he's taken the big main event that he thinks is bigger than all of us too lightly. That's like one of the Christians saying, Jesus is coming back. Well, okay, But then he got a big pop because he said he was medically cleared. And that's wonderful. So they're not going to boo that. But he will be at SmackDown Friday to confront the Bloodline. And then, thankfully, Cody got back on the subject of The Rock again and ended a little bit stronger with, he's coming to SmackDown with Seth to see the Bloodline and tell The Rock off and answer this challenge. So we were 23 minutes into Raw by that point. I think you could have deductified a couple or three off of Seth in the middle there, and we still could have got the same points out.
And I guess you could kind of bet on at least 30 minutes of SmackDown worth watching now.
Yeah. Hopefully
with entrances.
Well, yes, with entrances. Hopefully the first 30. So that way maybe I could watch it live and just go to sleep.